right, even the losers do get lucky sometimes. Now in game 1, the Orioles did not get lucky. They got shut out by the final score of 8-0. So they're going to try to improve on that, but I'm kind of hoping they don't so we can keep the series going, because we're going to go as long as they lose. Now, thanks to one of the viewers that put a comment in the video on the first game. I did not realize that the wild pitch and balk ratings and pass ball ratings were on the roster sheet for the 88 season, so I was able to go pull that sheet, and so now we will be in full super advanced mode for this game. So got those all written in. We're ready to go. Let's go through the lineups pretty quickly. Kind of the same as they were in game 1. Molitor, Yount, Surhoff, Brock, Deere, Braggs, Riles, Gantner, and Swain for the Brew Crew. With Chris Bosio starting, his balk rating is a 4, his wild pitch rating is a 0. And for Surhoff, his pass ball rating is a 3. All right, we go to the Orioles. Pretty much the same lineup as last time, maybe a slight difference. Stone in left, Ripken, Billy Ripken at second, Cal at short, Eddie at first, Fred Lynn in center, Sheets the DH, Rick Shue at third, Kennedy at catching, and Orslack in right. Kennedy's pass ball rating is a 2. Starter Mike Morgan, his balk rating is a 0, but his wild pitch rating is a 17. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. So hopefully now that I've got that straight, I can go back to the straight super advanced without having to fudge anything. So hopefully this will get going pretty quickly and pretty smoothly. We shall see. Right now for the Orioles, starting pitcher is Mike Morgan. He is a right-hander. In 1988, he was 1-6 with a 5.43 ERA, so he could be in for some difficult outings against the Brew Crew. And he'll be opposed by Chris Bosio, the right-hander. And Bosio in 88 was 7-15, but his ERA was only 3.36. So obviously, looks like he didn't get a whole lot of run support. But we shall see how things go here in Game 2. And leading things off will be Paul Molitor. And he is the DH in this ball game. Here we go. Game 2 underway. 5-6. Morgan against a right-hander. 5 and a 6 is a pop out to short. And there's one away. Molitor is retired. That brings up Robin Yount. We get a 3-6 for Yount against a right-hander, and that's a 1 for a homer. Anything else will be a double. So we get the double there, as that's a 10. So that's going to be a double for Molitor. So I'm in for Yount, rather. So Yount doubles. He's on first. Now we're going to institute the D20 rolls now. Nothing on the D20 on that one. 2-7 for Surhoff against a right-hander. Is a single to right. There is an omega, but there's not 2 outs. So the clutch does not come into play, so that single to right will stand. Now the question is, will Yount score? Yount's running rating is a 16, which is very good, obviously. He was not really being held, so we're going to keep the 16. And then the right fielder, Joe Orslack, his arm is a -1, so that would make it a 15. So 1-15, and technically on the super advanced, if you do try for the lead runner, then you have an option of cutting the throw, or the guy can advance, but that's on the computer, and I really don't have time or the effort to go through all that. So I'm going to try to keep it basic. He's going to make the play at the plate, and it is what it is. So 1 through a 15, and he will score. It's a 7, so he will score. So Yount stays there, and I'm going to keep Surhoff at first base. Keep it simple. Although on the computer version, like I said, there's more detail there, but I just don't have time for all that detail. All right, so Brewers lead at 1-0 already, and here's Greg Crocodile Brock with Surhoff at first and 1 out. Nothing on the 20. It's a 6-11. Morgan against a against a left-hander on 6-11 is a ballpark diamond shot. So that's going to help him out a little bit, because it would be 1-19, but now it's 1-14 thanks to Memorial Stadium effect. So it's a 1-14 for a home run. And it's a 6, so it didn't matter. Greg Brock takes Mike Morgan deep, and it's not looking good for the O's. They may not get lucky this time. as they are now down 3-0 here in the top of the first. And it brings up another home run threat, Rob Deere. 6-8 is a walk. And that's something that Tabletop Earl mentioned to me a long time ago. Said seems like the thing that gets rolled the most after a home run is a walk. And that seems to occur quite a bit when I replay these games. So he was rather astute in that comment. All right, here's Glenn. No brags, just facts. Of course, Tabletop Earl is pretty astute in a lot of things, so definitely check him out. And he's got a lot of wisdom there, not only in board and dice games, but in life in general. 1-9. 1-9 for Braggs is a ground ball third base A, so that will be a double play. 5-4-3 around the horn. And that's going to end top of the first, but 3 runs on the board here in the first. My penmanship not very good there, but that's not being graded, so don't have to worry about that. All right, here's Chris Bosio. He will start out against Jeff Sly and the Family Stone, who is not a very good hitter, but he started the season with the Orioles because they wanted speed, but speed only does any good when you get on base, so he quickly got shipped to Rochester. 2-9. 2-9 is going to be a line out to Greg Brock at first. There's one away. Brings up Bill Ripken, current Major League Baseball channel analyst. 2-6 for Bill Ripken is a split chance. 1-4 is a single. Anything else he will line to Swain at short. And that's what he does on that 9. He lines to short. So 2 lineouts. Good wood on the ball, but no results. And here comes Big Brother Cal. 2 out space is empty. It's a 2-7, and he will draw a 2-out walk to bring up Eddie Eat, Drink, and Be Murray, switch hitter. And we'll see what Bosio can do with him. 4, so there's nothing on the 20. 6-9 against the switch hitter batting left is a fly to center, handled by Yount. And the Orioles go pretty quietly in the first, just a walk and nothing else. We go to the top of the second. It's still 3-0 Brew Crew. And Mike Morgan might be on a short leash here. Here's Ernie Riles. Or I think, as somebody said, I think it was Chris Berman might have called him Ernie. I can see for Riles and Riles and Riles, if you're into that Chris Bermanism stuff. 2-2 for Riles is a foul out to Kennedy. And that's one away. Here's Jim Gantner. Jimmy Gantner, second baseman. 3-3 is a line out to Murray at first, so there's 2 away. So much better outing in the second inning here for Morgan than in the first. Here's Dale Swain, shortstop, 9th hitter. 2-5 is a ground ball to Bill Ripken at second, and Morgan much better this time. 3 up, 3 down, go the Brew Crew. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still a 3-0 Orioles lead. Here's Brewers lead. And here is Fred Lynn. 1-8 for Lynn is a strikeout. And we got our first strikeout of the game. As Freddie Lynn goes hunting and whiffs. Here's Larry Sheets, DH. It's a 3-8 for Sheets, and he's got a chance for a single 1-3. Not a very good one, but it's a 1-3. 4-20, he'll line to second. And that's a 7, so he will line to Gantner at second base. Really want to thank the person that, I don't have the name in front of me, that commented about the 88 Super Advanced effects being on the roster sheet, because that does make it a lot simpler now, and I don't feel as weird playing the game as a hybrid. So thank you for that. Sorry I can't recall your YouTube name off the top of my head. I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. Too late now. 4-7 for Bosio, and it's a ground ball second base X, so we got our first defensive check on the Super Advanced. It's Gantner. He's a 2E12. And that is a 17, so he will get to it. Now we got a 9 on an E12, and there is no 9, so it's a good play for Gantner. And Rick Really Big Shoe is out of there. So that's going to end that. We go to the third. It's still 3-0 Brewers. Top of the order for Paul Molitor. Popped to short his first trip, 5-5. He's going to ground to Billy Ripken at second to lead off the third inning. So Molitor is gone, and here's Robin Yount. He had that double and scored on the Surhoff single his first trip. We get a 6-10. Morgan against a righty, 6-10 is a walk. So Yount reaches again. And that brings up B.J. Surhoff. He had that RBI single his first trip. Nothing on the 20. It is a 1-3. And he's going to pop to Ripken. Billy Ripken, that is. And it's 2 down for Greg Brock. And Brock had that home run. 2-run shot his first trip. Nothing on the 20. 4-7. 4-7's a walk from Morgan. So that's going to put 2 on with 2 outs. As Yount meanders to second base. 2 down, 2 on for Rob Bombardier. And he's certainly capable of going deep. Nothing on the 20. 3-7. 3-7 is a single to left field. So now we got a chance for a run to score. Yount is at second. He was not being held. He's a 16. You add 2 because there's 2 outs, makes it a 18. Stone is a 2, so that makes it a 20. So basically 1 to 19, because I don't think you allow 20 to score. I think you have to knock it down to a 19. So anything other than a 20 and he will make it, and he does. So Yount will score his second run of the game. Rob Deere with an RBI single. Brock will stop at second since the ball went to left field. And the Brew Crew now lead it 4-0. Here's Glenn Braggs, and Mike Morgan might be on his last leg here. Nothing on the 20. It's a 1-7. That's a strikeout of Braggs. So Morgan will get out of the inning. But the Brewers tack on a run. And we go to the bottom of the third. It's Milwaukee 4 now, and the Orioles nothing. Crispacio back on the bump. And most of the Brewers hitters have hit twice, and some of the Orioles hitters have not come to bat at all, including Terry Kennedy. He will lead things off. Mr. Kennedy. 3-7 is a strikeout. 1 away for Joe Orsulak, the slack man, number 9 hitter. 1-4, and he will fly to center, so Yount handles that one with no problem. 2 down, bases empty, back to Jeff Stone. 4-6 against the lefty for Basio. He's going to pop it up to Swain at short. And it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for the Brew Crew. So we go to the 4th, and it's still 4-0 in favor of the Brewers. And the way these Orioles are playing early on, the likelihood that this series might go, you know, at least 8, 9, 10 games is very looking more and more doable. So we'll see what happens here. Ernest Riles, 5-6 against Morgan. Against the lefty, it's a strikeout. So it is a strikeout of Riles because Morgan has not hit his fatigue rate yet, I don't believe. I think you have to give up at least 5 runs to hit your point of weakness. So I think he's still okay on that because there was a dot there, but I don't think that counted just yet. Here's Gantner. It's a 2-12. And he's going to fly to Orsulak in right field. 1 away. And if that's incorrect, somebody please tell me. I'm doing this kind of off the cuff, trying to remember all these things. But I think you have to give up at least 5 runs. Maybe 6. I don't remember off the top of my head. I guess I could look it up, but in the middle of the video, it's kind of hard to do. 1-4 for Swain is a ballpark single check. And that's a 1-6 for Memorial Stadium. But instead, he will line it to second base. And that's the end of the inning. So at least they got 4 innings out of Morgan. We'd like to at least get 5, because 5 is his point of weakness start. So that would be helpful for them to save their bullpen a little bit. Here is little brother Bill. Lead things off for the Orioles. 5-11 against Basio is another ballpark single check. Again, 1-6, and it is a 12, so he will line it to to Swain at short, 1 away. And big brother Cal, see what he can do. Cal, on his first trip, walked, so he did reach base, the only Oriole to do so far. 3-7 is going to be a grounder to Swain at short, so they're keeping Swain busy over there. 2 up, 2 down for Eddie Murray. Switch hitting first baseman. 4-6 off of Basio is a pop-up to Swain, so he made all 3 outs there. Kept him really busy. And we completed 4 here at Memorial Stadium, and it's still 4-0 Brew Crew. Morgan is starting his point of weakness inning, so the Oriole bullpen is active. Mark Williamson, right-hander, part-time starter, part-time reliever. He's a long man in the bullpen, so he is loosening. Here's Paul Molitor. 5-7 is a line out to second. Again, there's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. So the line out will stand. 1 away. Here's Fred. I'm sorry, got the wrong cards. Here's Robin Yount. I picked from the wrong stack. Here's Robin Yount. Lynn would probably like to bat off of Morgan. 1-6. It's a ground ball to Cal at short. 2 down. And that brings up Mr. BJ and the Bear Surhoff. 1-7 is a home run chance for Surhoff. 1-6. 7-20 would be a double. And that's an 18, so it's a double for Surhoff, a 2-out double. And that'll bring up Greg Brock, who is homered and walked. Nothing on the 20. 6-8 against a lefty. It's a single to right field, so a chance for another run to score. Remember, there are 2 outs, so the runner gets a boost of 2 on his run rating. Surhoff's run rating is a 12. It makes it a 14. He was not being held. And the single is assumed. Let's see here. 6-8. It's a single. Where did it go? 6-8 was a single to right field. It does say right field in the parentheses. So it does go to Orsolak, who's a -1. So we're looking at a aggregate of 13. So 1-13, he will score. They're going to go ahead and send him. And he makes it, barely, but he does. As that 2-out boost probably was the one that tipped the scale. And the Brewers now lead at 5-0, and I do think now that Morgan is tired officially, but they're going to try to get him through this inning to get 1 more out. Facing Rob Deere. They're going to hope they don't find a dot in their results. 6-3, they don't. It's a ground ball to first, and Murray will step on the bag himself to end the inning. And that's going to do it for Morgan. He's gone 5 innings, given up 5 runs. He will leave, and Mark Williamson will come in to pitch the 6th for the Orioles. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Basio in charge. His fatigue starts at inning number 6, so he's still good to go. Here's Fred Lynn. 1-8 for Lynn is a strikeout. So Lynn 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Probably would like to bat off Matt Morgan or Mike Morgan. 3-8 for Sheets is a potential single, but not a good one. 1-3. And that's a 7, so that will end up being a line out to second, handled by Gantner. So 2 up, 2 down, and Rick Shue, the batter. It's a 4-8. Basio against a righty is a split chance. 1-12 is a single. 13-20, he will line to Swain at short. It's 11, so it does sneak through for a base hit. And in fact, that's the first hit for the Orioles. It took them 5 innings to get one. But there goes the no-hitter. And here comes Terry Kennedy. First time Basio's had to use the D20 roll. One of the first times. 3-6 for Kennedy is a ground ball to first. Brock will step on the bag. Innings over. Would have been a double play had there been less than 2 outs, but there were already 2 outs. And the Orioles go meekly here in the 5th. So we go to the 6th. Still 5-0 Brew Crew. And Mark Williamson is your new pitcher. Forgetful outing for Morgan as he gives up 5 earned runs in 5 innings. And Glenn Braggs will be the first to test out Mark Williamson to start the 6th. 5-7 is a ground ball shortstop X. First X chance in a while, and it's Cal. He's a 2 E21. 2 and a 5, he'll get to that. And now E21 with an 8. E21, there is no 8, so Cal makes the play. 1 away for Ernest Riles. 6-6 against a lefty is a fly to center, handled by Freddie Lynn. 2 down. That brings up Jim Gantner. 5-5 against the lefty is a ground ball to second. Billy Ripken handles that. 3 up, 3 down go the Brew Crew in the 6th. So Williamson, a nice inning there. He should be able to go a couple more if he's effective. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Orsilac. Slack man gets the bat. And this is Bossio's beginning to his point of weakness chances. 6-7 against a lefty is a strikeout. There's a dot, but he's not tired yet, so the strikeout will be good. And there's one away for Jeff Stone. That is a 6-11 against a lefty, and that's a ground ball first base X. That is Greg Brock. He is a 3-11. 3-11, he will get to that. And it's a 7, and he's an E11 as a first baseman. There is no 7, so it is a good play. He will take it to the bag himself for out number 2. Here's Billy Ripken. 1-3 against a right-hander is a ballpark single check. 1-6. It's 2, so he does get the single. So a 2-out single for Bill Ripken brings up Cal Ripken. See if Cal can drive in little brother Billy. It's a 17 on the 20, so nothing there. 4-2. 4-2 is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Swain. He's a 4 E36, so not very good, obviously. 4 and an 8 is probably a hit. Nope, he gets to it. 4 and 8, he gets to it. Now check the error rating. It's a 14. He's an E36. And amazingly, there's no 14. There's a 13, a 15, and a 17. And the 16 would be a 2-base error, but the 14 is good. So Swain somehow able to take care of that and end the inning. So that's it for the Orioles here in the 6th. Go to the 7th. And Williamson only had, Bossio only had 1 notch against his point of weakness, so he's still pretty good for the 7th, it would seem, especially with the 5-0 lead. So Williamson now will lead off against Swain, who just made that nice play at short. 3-5 is a potential home run. 1-4 is a homer. Anything else, he flies to Orsilac and right. And that is a 12. So it's 12, so he flies to Orsilac. 1 away. You would think I could roll it on this thing without it falling off, but I don't want to roll too far to the right over in this side because you won't be able to see it on camera, so I'm trying to stop it here, but that 20 has a mind of its own sometimes. Here is Molitor, 3-6, and he's going to walk. So that's a 1-out walk to Paul Molitor. He's a double-A stealer, but they're up 5-0, so I'm not going to try to rub salt in the wounds here. Here's Yount. Nothing on the 20. It's a 1-12. And he's hit by the pitch, so maybe they will try to rub salt in the wounds because they don't like Yount getting hit. We shall see. 2 on, 1 out for B.J. Surhoff. Nothing on the 20. It's a 2-10, and that's a fly to center. Chance for the runner to go to third, but he's already in scoring position, so there's really no point in it. And again, like I said, it's 5-0, so how aggressive do you want to be? Whoops, here's Brock, 2-9. He's going to pop to first. That one kind of stuck to my hand there. Pop to first to end the inning. So even if Molitor had gone to third, it wouldn't have mattered, as it turns out. So Brock is retired. And now we go to the bottom of the 7th. And Bossio, after the 7th inning stretch, Bossio is back out there facing Eddie Murray. 2-3 from Murray is a fly to right, handled by Braggs. 1 away. Brings up Fred Lynn. And the Orioles have not scored a run yet in nearly 16 innings. 1-2 is a strikeout. So Lynn is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He has the hat trick against Bossio, striking out all 3 times. And now that brings up Larry Sheets. 5-7 against a lefty is a ground ball shortstop X, so Swain's going to be tested again. He's a 4 E36. 4 and a 6 is probably a base hit, and it is. It's an S1. Let's check the errors. We have a total of 14, and again, that's the one where he barely escapes because the errors check had 13, 15, and 16, and 17, but not a 14. So again, Swain dodges the error, but he is unable to stop that Larry Sheets grounder, so it will be a base hit. Here's Rick Shue against Basio. Nothing on the 20. It's a 4-6, and that is a strikeout. There is a dot, but he has not reached his point of weakness. He's only given up 2 base runners since that started, so he is still good on his point of weakness, and that's going to end the inning. Although it's probably going to do it for Basio. The 7 innings is plenty, especially early in the year. You don't want to wear the guy out, so they're going to go to their bullpen. Chuck Krim will be coming in for the Brew Crew in the bottom of the inning. All right, the Orioles, they're going to go ahead and let Williamson go one more inning. He's done very well for himself, so might as well try to absorb as many innings as possible and not wear out your entire bullpen. Well, they do have, they might go ahead and bring in Tom Niedenfuer in the 9th just to get some work. All right, here's Rob Deere. It's a 6-4 off of Williamson, and that is another ballpark single check, 1-6. And it is a 14, so he will line to short. One away, brings up Glenn Braggs, right fielder. Braggs on the day is not had a good day. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout and grounding into a double play. 1-9, he's going to ground to third, so Braggs, nothing to brag about today. 0 for 4 with a strikeout and a double play, so he's actually responsible for 5 outs. Here's Ernest Riles, 1-8 for Riles. And that's going to be a home run chance. 1-8 is a home run. 9-20 is a double. And that's a 20, so it's a double. A 2-out double for Ernest Riles. His first hit of the game. Brings up Jim Gantner. He's 0 for 3. Most of the damage is done in the middle of the order. Bottom of the order has been kind of silent. 4-7 off of Williamson is a ground ball second base X. That's Bill Ripken. He's a 2E13. And we got a 5. A 2 and a 5 is a good play. There is a 12, and he is an E13. There is no 12, so Ripken makes the play. Little Billy. And that's going to end the 8th inning. So Williamson's going to go 3 shutout innings. Saves their bullpen quite a bit. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. And we'll get a new pitcher for the Brew Crew. And it will be Chuck Krim, the right-hander. Even though there's lefties coming up, they got a 5-0 lead, so they're not playing matchups right now. So Chuck Krim de la Creme is on. Basio went 7 solid shutout innings. So 16 innings in a row now the Orioles have not scored to start this season replay. Here is Terry Kennedy. Well, it's not the whole season. It's just the losing streak replay, not the whole season. Couldn't imagine playing all 162 games of this. Would make me sick. 5-7 for Krim against a lefty is a ground ball shortstop X. So they're testing Swain over there. Can he roll another 14 is the question. Now he rolls a 10 this time, which might still be good. However, it's a 2, so the fact that that was a 2 means it is a single for Terry Kennedy. No error, but there is a single. So Kennedy starts out with a base hit. Here's Joe Orsulak. See if I can move the score sheet up just a tad so you can see the score sheet. Maybe I can move this over just a tad. There you go. All right. Here's Orsulak. 17, so nothing on the 20. 4-7 against a lefty is a ground ball second base X. That is Gantner. Gantner is a 2E12. So an 18, a 2, and an 18 is a ground ball A, so it could be a double play. 14, and he is a 12. 12, there is no 14, so it is a 4-6-3 double play. So that takes care of any thoughts of the Orioles possibly scoring this inning, I suppose. Here's Jeff Stone. 2 outs, bases empty. 5-7. And boy, there sure are testing Swain again. Another ground ball to short. It's a 13, a 4, and a 13. He will get to it. That's a 7. A 7 and an E36. There is no 7, so Swain really being tested, but he's passing all the tests. And the Orioles again have not scored. The Brewers won this game in real life 3-1. Right now they lead at 5-0 as we go to the 9th. And Tom Niedenfuer for the Orioles will be in. And he will be pitching in the top of the 9th. Williamson went 3 shutout innings. So you can't ask anything more than that. He does save their bullpen from using up all their arms in one game. So here's the man of the hour defensively, Dale Swain. He's been tested and tried and everything else in this inning, in this game, and he's passed every test, just about. 2-4. 2-4 for Swain is a fly to center. So handled by Fred Lynn, one away. Brings up Paul Molitor. Molitor, a 2-8, is a ground ball to short. 2 down for Robin Yount. 4-9 off of Niedenfuhr is a fly to center. And that's going to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Bottom of the 9th, and the Brew Crew may use another pitcher because they don't want to wear out Krim either. So Krim goes 1 shutout inning. And now they'll go to somebody else in their bullpen. You know what? They might go ahead and just use Dan Plesac. It's not a save situation, but he didn't pitch in the first game, so they might as well pitch him now. So their closer, Dan Plesac. Plesac, 2.41 ERA. Doesn't give us saves on here, but obviously he was their closer back in the late 80s. He will be starting off against Bill Ripken. And I don't know if the Orioles, they don't really have a whole lot on their bench as far as pinch hitters. I'll take a quick look, see if anybody can pinch hit for Ripken, but actually they will. They're going to go ahead and use Mickey Tettleton. So Mickey Tettleton will pinch hit for Bill Ripken. Try to spark something here. So Mickey Tettleton will get the pinch hitting duties to start the 9th. Mickey Tettleton, switch hitter, batting right against the lefty Plesac. 3-4 is a ground ball to third, 1 away. And just for kicks and giggles, a 3-4 for Ripken against the lefty. He would have popped to short, so it didn't matter anyway. They would have both been out, so it wouldn't have mattered. Here's Cal. Cal Ripken and trying to get something going here. 6-4 against Plesac is a ground ball third base X. That's going to be Riles, and he's a 4 also, 4 E19. That's a 2, so we know that's going to be a base hit. And that's a 10, so there is no error on a 10 on an E19, so it's simply a single for Cal, as he will reach. He gets his first hit of the game. And that brings up Eddie Murray, as the Orioles at least try to get off the schneid of the scoreboard. Even if they don't win, they at least want to score a run, I would think. Nothing on the 20. 6-2 for Murray. He is a switch hitter batting right. That's a ground ball shortstop X, so Swain is at it again. 2, so he's not going to get to it. And that is a 13, and I think 13 might have been an error, and it is. So it's a single plus an error. Single plus an error. And the single was 2 stars to begin with, so Ripken's going to get to third on the single by Murray. And then he's going to score on the E6. That's the way I'm reading it. So it was a single 2 stars, and then you had the error on top of it. So to me, that means Ripken will score all the way from first, and Murray will end up at second. No RBI given because the error is what produced the run, but at least the Orioles are off the 0 of the scoreboard. And that brings up Fred Lynn. And Plesac's not happy, although it is an unearned run. Swain finally failed to test. Probably should have put a defensive replacement in, but didn't do it. All right, 4-8 for Lynn against Plesac. A 1's a triple. Anything else, we will fly to Braggs in right field, and the game will be over. And that's exactly what happens. Braggs fields it. Ball game is over. The Orioles at least pick up a run. They lost the real game 3-1. They lose this game 5-1. And the streak continues. They're now 0-2. So there will be a game 3, obviously. And let's see. Let me get the old score sheet out here. Cleveland Indians, the Orioles will travel to Cleveland in the next game, and it'll be Mark Thurmond against Scott Bales. So we will shift the scene to Municipal Stadium, the mistake by the lake in Cleveland, as the Orioles will travel to the Indians and face Joe Carter, Brett Butler, Brooke Jacoby, and company. And the Orioles drop this one by the final score of 5-1. Mike Morgan the loser, Chris Bosio the winner. No save as Plesac entered with a 5-0 lead. So I hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-o-matic Baseball Super Advanced with the Baltimore Orioles. And if I did make any tactical mistakes as far as reading the charts or whatever, please let me know and I can tighten that up. I think I'm pretty decent on the Super Advanced, but you know, especially when you're doing videos, you can tend to forget something or just totally miss something, so it's certainly possible. Anybody that does videos will tell you that. So that's going to do it from here. Do want to give a shout out to the other channels that are out there. I imagine if you're watching mine, you probably are familiar with all the others, but just to throw it out there, the two Earls, Al Red Sox fan, Cars and Dice, Bleacher Bun Gaming, Strat-o-matic Delaware. I'm sure I'm probably forgetting a bunch of people here. After further review with Steve Tower, Espo Strat. I haven't seen him do a video in a while, but he's still out there, so maybe he'll come back and do some videos. And just the whole community itself. Anybody you see putting a video out there, please support them, because that does take some effort, and you put yourself out there for scrutiny. So if the other guys are like me, we don't do it because we're getting paid for it, because at least, I don't know about them, but I'm not getting paid for it. I just do it for the fun of it and to kind of share my love of the hobby. And then like Tenacious Earl said one time a long time ago, it's kind of like a documentary. You can go back, you know, and see what you've played over the years, and kind of, it's like a video library of all your games. So that's gonna do it from here. Hope everybody's a great day, and until next time, I will see you all down the road.